Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, April 24th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger. We begin tonight with a disturbing story out of Glendale. We are learning more tonight about a student aide at Glendale Elementary School accused of molesting an 8-year-old girl. The staffer, 30-year-old Jason Howard of Riverdale, is charged with sexual abuse of a minor and fourth-degree sex offense. He was arrested at the school last Wednesday after allegedly abusing the student. According to charging documents, a teacher reported that she saw Howard sit next to the victim, slide her hand underneath her skirt, and molest her. Sam Akkad's younger brother goes to Glendale. He says hearing about the incident was upsetting.
It makes me angry, to be honest, and I can't even imagine how the little girl's parents are. You know, it's really a tragedy. I can't believe something like this would happen in the school, and it was more than once.
During an interview with police, Howard admitted that he fondled the student 10 to 15 times during the last 2 years. Howard is currently on administrative leave pending criminal and administrative investigations.
The man wanted in connection with his stepfather's murder is now in the custody of Prince George's police. Officials say 27-year-old Antoine James turned himself into police last night. James is accused of fatally shooting his stepfather, 46-year-old Joseph Newell, over a dispute about yard work. The incident happened Monday at their home in the 6700 block of Green Moss Drive in Upper Marlboro about 8 p.m. A neighbor's surveillance video captured the whole thing.
It happened right outside the garage. Detective Newell was simply screwing in a light bulb over top of the garage. He was on a step ladder. Our shooter, James, approached Detective Newell from behind, shot him in the back one time. Detective Newell fell to the driveway, and James stood over top of him and fired several rounds into his body. It was an execution.
James is being charged with first-degree murder. Newell was a detective with the Metropolitan Police Department's 6th District.
A federal investigation revealing corruption and gang activity at the Baltimore City Detention Center prompts reaction from lawmakers. Delegate Curtis Anderson tells the Washington Post that the indictments reflect poorly on both the governor and the Secretary of Public Safety. According to court documents unsealed Tuesday, the Black Guerrilla family, a dangerous street gang, runs the jail. 25 defendants are charged with conspiring to sell drugs inside the facility, including more than a dozen female correctional officers. The officers allegedly helped the gang by sneaking in cell phones and drugs and had sex with inmates. 4 of the women were impregnated by BGF leader Tavon White and have his name tattooed on their bodies. U.S. Attorney Rod Rosenstein calls the corruption by law enforcement the most disconcerting aspect.
There's an allegation in the affidavit that it was a strategy of BGF to identify people that they thought would be weak, that they thought they'd be able to take advantage of and co-opt. And so I don't know that they were targeting people at random. They had reasons for targeting these particular correctional officers.
Are most of the corrections officers at Central Booking and the city jail still women?
That's the recruiting population. That's the recruiting base. People who can meet the criteria for employment for the state. Women come up good on those tests. They don't have, these particular people didn't have histories of criminal histories, and they become the most viable force. That's not uncommon in some.
Now, the 13 correctional officers charged in this case have been suspended without pay and could be fired. Other supervisors could also face disciplinary action as well. Tavon White is scheduled to go on trial today for the 3rd time on an attempted murder charge. 2 previous trials ended in hung juries.
Vice President Joe Biden speaks during a memorial service today for a university police officer fatally shot, allegedly by the Boston Marathon bombing suspects. The service for 26-year-old Sean Collier was held at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Police say the officer was killed by brothers Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev on campus Thursday night. Tamerlan was killed in a separate shootout with police. Dzhokhar was captured and criminally charged from a hospital bed where he was recovering from gunshot wounds.
It's a day of honor and recognition for dozens of county public safety officers who are receiving awards for their heroic acts while on duty. A special awards luncheon was held earlier, and CTV's Makia Turner has more from Greenbelt.
Well, I'm standing just outside of a beautiful ballroom here at Martin's Crosswinds for Prince George's County's 36th annual Valor Award luncheon, where nearly 50 public safety officials are being awarded with either a bronze, silver, or gold medal today for the level of risk and judgment they've used on duty. Jamison Scarletta, Stephen Chagnon, and Edward Eldaco are receiving the Gold Medal of Valor today and being named the 2012 Paramedics of the Year.
Every one of us out there does this stuff every day, and it's an honor to be kind of singled out.
Just do the great honor of being here amongst all of our cohorts and partners for an award such as this is great.
Last year, on April 21st, these 3 paramedics responded to a confined space rescue where they found a man with his legs pinned in a mulch dye machine. That's when Eldaco and Chagnon went in, and then Scarletta showed up to relieve them.
My partner here, Steve, were working that day as paramedics, and we were one of the first ones on the scene right away. And so, our job is to assess the situation, and it didn't take us long to figure out that this guy was in a lot of trouble.
Whether it's here or out there, for firemen in particular, it's not really about us or a me attitude. It's really more about the you attitude and the community. Jeff Brushwood was another honoree today. He got the Firefighter of the Year award.
I've told my guys it's not a me thing, it's not a I thing, it's a we thing. It's a group effort, and we're a team, and we do everything together. If one person fails, we all fail. So at one side, I'm really happy I'm getting the recognition, but on the other side, it's a team effort, and I don't deserve it. The whole crew deserves it.
In the wake of last week's tragic events in Boston and Texas, a moment of silence and prayer opened today's Valor Awards ceremony, honoring both the victims and survivors of those incidents. In Greenbelt, I'm Makia Turner, CTV News.
And congrats to all the recipients.